childcare costs set to rise substantially with government funding disappearing, a lot of people are having to look to say, can we afford this higher cost of childcare? And other childcare centers are wondering, can they get in enough revenue to keep their doors open when they're losing access to federal funds?
Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. Today, I want to talk to you about the rising cost that is getting ready to be implemented to the U.S. for childcare. We all know that childcare, for the most part, is a big portion of many people's budgets. Many people are having children, and especially after the whole pandemic situation, that there was a lot of concern overall in the cost. Not just for the cost of childcare, but what happens is that the cost of the building that's being leased is continuing to rise due to different varying costs, and that gets passed on to the childcare provider, who then passes that on to the parents. So parents who are feeling inflation from the cost at the pump, parents who are feeling it from the cost of groceries to the cost of rent, all of this is continue to contribute to a lesser amount of available dollars in the household. Now, what happened was there was a amount of money that was set aside during the pandemic for the ability to provide for childcare, and this helped to reduce the stress overall on parents. This amount is getting ready to end here in a short period of time, in the next month, I believe, and that amount is set to put a strain not only on the budgets but also on daycare providers. Many providers are using this amount to be able to stay profitable. And what's happening is there's going to be a possible shortage of daycare providers. I'm going to play a video clip here. We'll come back and watch that and then analyze it from there.
High cost of childcare, spending around 25% of their incomes on it. And that's for those who can actually find care. Now parents could see costs go even higher as states run out of the $24 billion in stimulus money that was set aside by Congress during the COVID-19 pandemic. According to a study by the Century Foundation, around 70,000 child care programs could close after the funding is gone. That would affect 3.2 million children. It could also cause a loss of $10.6 billion in economic activity. Betsy Stevenson joins us now. She's a professor of public policy and economics at the University of Michigan. She also served as the chief economist at the Labor Department under the Obama administration. Betsy, thank you so much for joining us. Can you, in the largest ways possible, help us understand the connection, the economic connection between childcare and the larger economy?
Certainly. I mean, I think this is pretty obvious to most people that when you have parents, both parents in the workforce, something's got to happen with their young kids. With older kids who are, old enough for kindergarten or first or second grade, part of what happens is they go to school during the day, and that provides some childcare relief for working parents. But if you've got a kid who's not old enough for kindergarten, you're often on your own to pay for that childcare while you work. And of course, there's also, from the child's perspective, early childhood education.
All right, perfect. So what's happening here is that the professor is basically saying is that the cost of childcare rising is going to have a negative effect in terms of inflation. So what's going to happen is that parents who would have gone ahead and taken jobs that are available to help to reduce the increase the workforce participation, and the amount of people in the workforce is going to be reduced because those people are now being forced to take care of their children. Additionally, what's going to also happen is that inflation will continue to remain high as people will remain on government programs.
Well, you're asking specifically about the ripple effects for, say, the parent who has to drop out. And that's a very important question. Someone if you can't find childcare and you have to quit your job, you lose experience, you lose momentum. It can be hard to find another job at the same rank or pay scale that you were in before. And so that can cause problems. But I'm going to urge you to even step further back and not just look at the hardship of the individual people who are forced to quit their jobs because they don't have childcare, and to think about the overall macroeconomy. Because right now, when we look at the decisions the Federal Reserve Board is making around interest rates, they're trying to bring down inflation, and they're trying to bring down inflation without having to shrink the economy too much. What's been helping them has been that expansion in labor force participation. If people show up and take the jobs that employers are advertising, if they're able to take those jobs, then we don't see the labor market contributing to that inflationary pressure, and this makes the Fed's job easier. But if the parents don't have any childcare and they're not willing to take those jobs, then we're going to see the labor market start to contribute to inflationary pressure, and that's going to make the Fed's job higher, could lead to higher interest rates down the pike. So I think we all need to be concerned about this story, regardless of whether you have children at home, children in childcare, relatives that you care about, but realize that this affects our whole macroeconomy.
All right, perfect. So we see there again that there is definitely some issues coming down the pipeline. And on this channel, we try to focus about how it is that we can use these opportunities to help to better ourselves, to better our family, and to create greater sustainable lives for those around us. So again, there is a huge need for childcare. If you have that desire, if you like working with children, it's going to be a work, but it's an opportunity for you to have your own business. It's an opportunity for you to make a contribution to someone else's life and to help to foster and raise the next generation of children. Additionally, these are also going to be opportunities as well. So regardless of what happens, there's going to be needs for buildings. There's going to be need for all of these different things that are going to happen, whether it's food or whatever it is related. There are opportunities around us everywhere. And our responsibility here is to be able to find different scenarios and to just to talk about that. One thing that I'm very passionate about, and I'm very grateful that this channel has allowed me to do, is that this channel now produces somewhere around 10,000 views per month. What something that any of us can do, right? So I'm consider myself to be not as talented as most people. There are people who know how to change, change tires. People know how to do a million other things that are in the world. So what we can do is that you're able to if you would be interested, you find something you're interested in, you create a channel and you drive traffic to that. You find something that you can sell on there, whether it's on Etsy, whether it's a book that you have written, whether it's a course that you're providing, whatever it is that you do, you put that in the description section for an opportunity for you to sell. And just like a business looking to bring in traffic, they're looking to then offer that traffic some kind of service that they're offering. And from there, if you have 5,000 people that come through, if you can get 50 sales per month from those 5,000 people, at $20 per month, that's something that can help you towards your bills. I mean, I encourage just about everyone that if you have the opportunity to, that you should go ahead and start a YouTube channel. It's a free for the most part lead generation tool that allows you to help to create things for yourself in terms of a digital product. There's a whole lot that is going on right now, and inflation does not seem, while inflation, whether it's at 9% or 2%, our ability to purchase based upon the money that we make from our jobs is being diminished on a constant basis. And there is no going back to 2019 prices. The Fed is looking to have the rate of inflation increase at 2%. So from where we are today, they want to increase it at 2%. That's their overall goal, not to have negative inflation. So we know in advance that this is the case, and we're just looking for opportunities on how we can benefit from this. Whether it's you're getting into trucking, whether it's you're finding ways to sell different products online. There's regardless of what the situation is, there are people who made money during the last financial crisis, and there will be people who make money during this financial crisis as well. What are your thoughts on this? Please comment below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day.